Welcome, Shelby. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Doing very well. Welcome back to another episode of Automotivated, where we are tuning in on live streams every Wednesday to talk to you about some of the things going on in the industry and giving you some feedback on what we find to be some of the most important questions that we get from our customers here at Bolt On Technology. So, now do you know that April is a very special month?
I do know that.
Now, what is April?
April is National Car Care Month.
Woo! Okay, so National Car Care Month, most of the country just came off of a really harsh winter. So between having their snow tires on there, all the damages with ice, snow, things along those lines, the roads are now, kind of torn up because of all the salt that was on there, that was left behind. And it's time to get your car refreshed and ready for spring. We have a lot of things to look forward to coming up, road trips, family vacations, now that summer's coming. So, it's important to, refresh your car.
Exactly.
Now, the whole idea of Car Care Month. So this Car Care Month was established by the Car Care Council and their whole idea of be car care aware. And it's really the importance of educating your customers to be proactive with their vehicles rather than reactive, and really emphasize the importance of routine vehicle maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what you said before. You were like, proactive rather than reactive.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about catching problems early, doing preventative maintenance instead of asking your customers to spend all this money on huge repairs that could have been caught weeks or months in advance had they just gone routinely.
Exactly. And, I think we can see a lot of our customers are guilty of this. It's that last minute phone call, something happened, or, oh no, I remembered the inspection's due. And they're not necessarily thinking about all of the benefits that come from routine vehicle maintenance. And, some of them are saving money in the long run, not having to pay for those big expenses because the damage is so bad, because you weren't just being proactive and taking care of your vehicle. You're going to have a safer and more dependable vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
which is always great. It's going to preserve the trade-in value for your vehicle, which is something that's also going to be very, very important, looking at the long-term health of your vehicle. And finally, it gives you the opportunity to pre-schedule appointments for all of your customers. That's the biggest thing, convenience. It's not necessarily on the top of everybody's mind to go to the auto repair shop.
No, exactly. And we take care of our bodies the same way you're suggesting. When we go to the doctors, it's a routine thing. We always schedule our next appointment when we're right there at the doctor's office. It's not, hopefully, a sudden phone call saying, I think I'm dying. Now help me. You don't want to ever call your automotive repair guy and be like, my car is it's dead. The engine blew. There's flames coming out of it. I'm sure there's something that could have been done beforehand to avoid that.
Exactly. And, we have Shelby here today because Shelby is a part of the marketing team, and she's worked alongside of a lot of auto repair businesses. And, there's some things that your auto repair shop can really tap into in order to make best use of the actual National Car Care Month.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the best umbrella is just education. It's just educating customers whenever they're in your shop, when they're not in your shop, when they're scheduling their appointment on the phone with you, before they leave the shop, when they're scheduling their next appointment. It's all about education. The more you're able to educate your customers, the more information you're able to give them, the more empowered they feel, and they feel like they're making the choices. It's not a forced decision. They feel like they have control, so they're more apt to kind of agree with you and take the necessary measures to be proactive instead of reactive.
Absolutely. And what we've seen, Car Care Council has given auto repair shop owners like yourselves the most information that you could, whether it's for social, whether it's for print, all these different types of advertisements to help you educate your customers. At the end of the day, you're going to be the ones having the conversation and really initiate the conversation, but don't think you don't have tools to help you along with this. And, we've both seen this go very successful before. The idea of having a National Car Care event, putting on these training opportunities where you have people, drive people into your shop, not necessarily to pay for a service or anything. We're not saying giving your services away for free, but show them the importance of a full vehicle inspection. what are the things that they should be looking for? What are the things that should be checked routinely? And giving them the best information possible to make the decisions on their car. And really, again, like you said, that whole idea of educate. But what better way to do that than bringing the community together, giving them the value they need. It's going to establish trust, which we know is really hard to build within the automotive industry ourselves. But it's also a good way to get people excited to interact with your customers in a way that goes well beyond the transaction.
Exactly. And it all comes back to just how can you help them outside of the shop? What tools, what information, what education can you provide them when they're not standing right in front of you?
Absolutely. So we want to know how many of you are already playing around with Car Care Months, whether you're hosting events, whether you are, I think this is also a really good opportunity too, to send that reminder for services. Hey, it's National Car Care Month. We want to make sure that you're being proactive with your vehicle. Have you scheduled your routine appointment? Simple thing to do. It's easy to tie into the month. And, if you're not able to establish this for the month of April for Spring Car Care Month, you do have a Fall Car Care Month.
Yep, you always have October.
So we have 2 different car care months going on throughout the year. Spring is in April, fall is in October, and it's your opportunity to educate, to get customers into your shops for a more proactive approach, and ultimately host those events that are going to drive people into your shop, where you can build those relationships, where you can have that conversation and, ultimately establish the trust. I think that's really one of the biggest things that you're going to be able to do with all of this.
Yeah. And both of the months just happen to fall on the change of season. So if nothing else, it's, all right, April Car Care Month, how are you transitioning out of winter into spring? Are all your fluids checked? Is your air conditioner going to work? Is your sunroof going to work? Transitioning from fall into winter. Do you have winter tires? Is your fluids, again, same thing, your fluids, how are they? Has your oil been changed recently? Because that's a pain in the wintertime.
Absolutely. So again, we want to know what you have going on at your shop for National Car Care Month. And what we'll do is we'll make sure that we leave a link below for you to head to Car Care Council to get all of these free tools that are going to help you educate all of your customers that come in. But until next time, I know we're automotivated.
Oh, I'm totally automotivated.
Are you? We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.